Hi, I'm Nadawa from Paper Flow Designs. Thanks for joining me today. We are going to be drawing this design. So turn on Inkscape, get yourself comfortable, grab yourself a cup of something warm to drink or cold, maybe now, and let's get started. We're going to draw the rim and the outside of the glass, starting off with the circle tool. So just click on the ellipses and circles tools from the menu bar or just use the shortcut. Now we're going to start shaping it. So double click to get the nodes, which are those little gray squares that you see. And then I can just click on the bottom one there and click and pull it, or not pull it, but like push it up. So I will click and move the mouse up to flatten it out because I want to make sort of like a line. I'm going to use these ovals and treat them as my drawing lines. So we'll go over to the far right node and then just click it and drag it down because I want to curve it. So this will be the curved side of the rim of the glass. So you can see I'm spending a little bit of time just pushing and pulling the nodes until I get the shape that I like. I can flip it over. I flip the whole line over just using the shortcut H, and that will flip over your design. And you can just, continue to push and pull until you get the shape you want. I mean, you can maybe find the shape you want in the first 2 clicks too, which is great. Once I'm happy with how that looks, I can just duplicate that and then move it over so that it forms the side of the rim. Let's duplicate the side of the rim one more time. We're going to make the bottom of the rim of the glass, and then we're going to do it one more time to close out that rim. Now we're going to make the stem of not the stem, but the inside of the glass using what? You guessed it, the same part that we use for the rim. So we just duplicate that and we're going to flip it over a couple of times and reshape that. But that's the good thing that I like about SVGs is that you can just reuse your same drawing designs over and over again. So to get rid of that curve, I'm just going to click on that bottom node and then pull it to the right. Now that we have the left side of the glass done, let's just duplicate that piece and we will flip it and do it over to the right side. Now we can duplicate that side rim and use it to make the stem of the glass. So we'll just do it for the right side and then duplicate that right side for the left side. We've almost finished the glass. Now it's time to make the base. So to make the base, I'm going to select those four edges that we used to make the top rim, and I'm just going to duplicate that. I'm going to click and drag it down to the bottom and shrink it in a little bit to make it smaller. And then I'll center it where I want it. At this point, I wanted to change the length of the stem. I wanted to make it come down and then come out a little bit. So you can see here where I just clicked on that bottom node and then pulled it out. So I'm gonna tweak it a little bit, push and pull it to get it so that it gives it a little curve in the stem. Now that we have the glass, I just want to combine some of those individual layers, those individual pieces of the rim that I have. So instead of having four different sections, I'm just going to combine them into one, so you can see that it makes like one circle now. To make the actual drink that's inside the glass, I'm going to use a circle. So just choose the circle and ellipsis tool, which is the shortcut for that is E. The color is going to be the same color that I was just using, so I'm just going to click the dropper tool and then change the color to pink, but I don't think I want it to be pink. I want it to be more like a, I don't know, a lemonade, maybe mango, pineapple kind of drink. So I'll just change the color again to the yellow from the color palette. Now we're going to click and drag that circle over on top of the glass, and then we're going to double click to get the nodes. So once we have the nodes, which are just those little squares, we're going to click and drag them and pull them around so they form something kind of like a loose triangle, I want to say. Something that'll look like, the drink inside of the glass. To make the top part of the drink, we're going to use another circle. So just click on your circles tool, make like a medium-sized circle. We're going to change the color of that to the orangey color from the color palette. And then we're going to click and drag and put that over on top of that, the yellow color of the drink. You might need to to adjust it so that, you know, it fits inside of the glass. Okay, so now we have our liquid, our drink in our glass, and it's time to make the cocktail umbrella, because what kind of tropical drink is complete without a little cocktail umbrella? So to do that, you just use the circles tool again. You draw, you know, a little medium-sized circle and change the color to pink from the color palette. I'm going to cut that circle in half using a rectangle. So I'm just going to draw a medium-sized rectangle that's wide enough so that the width covers the circle completely. And then I'm going to select those two shapes, the circle and the rectangle, and I'm going to I'm going to cut them. Since we don't want it to look, you know, perfectly symmetrical, we're just going to double click to get the nodes and then pull up that center node a little bit to change up the shape, and we'll do the same with the side nodes. Just move them in and out a little bit so that it's kind of irregular. It just makes it look a little bit more organic and a little bit more hand-drawn. To make the spine of the umbrella, we're just going to use the stem from our glass. We'll duplicate one of those stems, it doesn't matter which one, the right or the left side. Duplicate it, move it up over on top of our pink umbrella. And I'm just going to double click on it to get the nodes out and give it a little bit more of a curve so it kind of follows the pattern of the semicircle of our umbrella. Once that's done, then we can just duplicate that and flip it over on the other side. So we'll have like two spines on our umbrella. Since we only want the inside lines, after we combine those two spines, I'm just going to duplicate that pink umbrella. And I'm going to select the pink umbrella shape and the blue spines, and I'm going to use the path cut feature so that I'll only be left with the inside blue lines for my spine. And I can go ahead and delete the little blue parts that are sticking out outside of the umbrella. You'll see what I mean. Let's go ahead and change the color of the blue spines to that grayish, lavenderish color from the color palette. So just use the eyedropper tool and then click on it. To make the top of the umbrella, we're going to use the rectangles tool. So click on the rectangles tool and then just double click it to get the nodes. Then we're going to pull up the top part to give it a curve, and then pull out the right and the left side to make it look like a little, little hat on the top of our umbrella. We're going to change the color by using the color dropper tool, that light brown color, and then select it and move it down on top of our umbrella. Now we can duplicate the little hat with the little top of our umbrella to make the little toothpick that's going to be under the umbrella. To So just duplicate that, click and pull down to elongate it, and then you just want to squeeze that in and then move it right under the pink umbrella. Since that's a little too long, we're going to cut that. So we're just going to duplicate the pink umbrella, and then we're going to select the, what do I call it, the little toothpick and the pink umbrella. And then we're going to go to path cut so that we can get like a nice clean cut on that. And then we can delete that little extra pointy piece at the top that we don't need anymore. To combine all of the pieces of the umbrella, you just want to click and drag over all of them to select them, and then just go to, you can either group them or you can combine them. I suggest you group them, because if you combine them, it might just change all of the colors to one. So go ahead and group them and then move them into place right over the glass. We're ready for the really fun part, which is adding texture to our drink. So to give it more of like a slushy, icy kind of, tropical drink look, we're going to be using the textures in the texture bundle pack. So if you want to get those, you can just look in the description and you can see a link to those. So I'm going to be using the pack, and the next segment I'm just going to import it. We're going to use the pink texture from the Hello Summer texture bundle. So I'm going to duplicate it, and then I'm just going to drag it over, and then I'm going to rotate it, and then I'm going to double click it so that I can squash it down. I can get the arrows back down, and what I mean by squash it down is just, I want to make it like a tighter, more compact kind of design. So I will just pull it down using the arrows and then stretch it out. To get the texture inside of my circle, I'm going to duplicate that top layer, so that top orange circle. And then I'm going to select the texture bundle at the same time that I have the circle selected, and I'm going to use path intersection so that I can just be left with the inside of my texture. If you like this tutorial, save it and share it with another crafter who likes to make SVG files, and I hope to see you again next week.